Hello everyone, I'd like to show you a 15-minute exercise routine that you can do at home with minimal equipment. These exercises are arranged so that we can target essential muscle groups that are important for your posture and coordination in a balanced manner. If you find some of the exercises too easy or too hard, don't worry about it. There will be other videos of 15-minute exercises that are either going to be a progressed or regressed version of this. For this routine, you will need a rolled up towel or a cushion like this, and a band, like the thera-band that we normally use, and a loop band. But if you don't have a loop band like this, don't worry about it, because we can make a loop with this thera-band. And if you have a wall space, that'll be very beneficial as well. Okay, let's get started. Begin by lying on your stomach with a cushion or a rolled up towel under your forehead. Then place your forearms on the ground with your elbows bent about 90 degrees. Your elbows are also in level with your ears. Gently push your forearms into the ground. This will allow your chest slightly lifted from the floor without activating your lower back muscles. As you do so, your shoulder blade settles onto your body as the tension on your upper shoulder reduces. You can see in the picture that the upper shoulder muscles remain soft. Now, gently lift your head off, with your chin slightly tucked. This will allow your body to initiate the head movement from the most fundamental point in your spine. As you can see in the picture, that point is actually below your cervical spine. Muscular training wise, this exercise helps your body coordinate upper thoracic spine extensors and neck stabilizers. Once your head is lifted, take 2 full breaths in and out before going back to the initial position. You can also rotate your head side to side for additional mobility routine. We will do this 10 times. Now we will use a wall to do a beginner level side plank. We use the wall to help our body keep the stabilizing shoulder joint in the center of the joint space. What I am showing now is 2 different shoulder joint positions that deviate from the center. One is forward, another is backward. You can play with this position to find the center. If finding the center is difficult for you, backward is better than forward. Both of your shoulder blades are on the wall with your head neutral. Your elbow is also very close to the wall so that it is aligned with your shoulder joint. As you lift your hips up and forward, keep both of the shoulders and head on the wall. Ideally, the line formed by your shoulder, hip, and knee should be fairly straight from a bird's eye view. Take 2 full breaths in and out before going back to the initial position. Let's do this 10 times per side. Now we will do an exercise that helps you coordinate inner thigh and core muscles. Lie down on your side with your head supported with a cushion and your arm. Rest your one foot on a stool with your leg straight. Ideally, a line formed by your shoulder, hip, and ankle should be fairly straight if seen from a bird's eye view. Now, reach your foot that is rested on the stool away from shoulder. This helps you activate the spinal stabilizers on the opposite side. Pushing the floor with your hand can also support this, as you can see in the video. Now lift your bottom foot up toward the foot that is rested on the stool while turning the leg inward. As you do so, it is important not to push down hard with the foot on the stool. The movement should primarily come from the inner thigh in the bottom leg. You will see that I will lift opposite foot from the stool time to time to show that I am not using the leg on the stool that much. Once you're in this position, take 2 full breaths in and out before bringing your foot down. We will repeat this 10 times per side. In this view, you can see that my body is fairly straight, and when I am lifting the bottom foot up, I am turning the foot inward. Now we will work on our hip extensors. Putting a loop band around your thighs also help with engaging your hip abductors. Of course, your core is going to be engaged as you try not to flare your ribcage upward. We will do this 20 times. Feel free to take a brief rest in between if your hamstring starts cramping. Now we will focus a bit more on our deep stabilizers around our spine and pelvis. Notice that I am trying not to rotate my pelvis while trying not to flare my ribcage up.
as I move my leg and arms slowly. Not flaring our ribcage does not mean that we are completely flattening our lower back. As you can see in the picture, the small arch in your lower back is still maintained. Continuous and smooth breathing is also important. We will do this 10 times per side. You can play with the knee angle, as I am doing right now in the video, to find what gives you the most meaningful challenge. Now we will assume a high plank position with your feet about shoulder width apart or even wider if you'd like. You will know why it is important soon. Move one hand to touch the opposite shoulder while trying not to rotate your body or losing the neutral spine position, including your neck. If you feel like your lower back is hyper-arching, try to tuck your tailbone under to recover and maintain the neutral position. Try not to sink your chest down by continuously push your hands into the ground. This exercise helps you engage inner and outer core muscles as well as your shoulder stabilizers. We will do this 10 times per each side. Now place one knee on a carpeted floor or a cushion and put the opposite foot on the ground. That foot will stabilize one end of your thera-band. You can see that my hips and knees are almost 90 degrees. Ideally, the line formed by your ear, shoulder, hip, and knee should be fairly straight, seen from the side view. Some of you may need to tuck your tailbone under to achieve this position. Hold the thera-band with the hand opposite to the foot on the ground. Then move the arm diagonally upward while keeping your arm fairly straight. Notice that my thumb points toward me at start and it gradually rotates away from me as the arm moves diagonally upward. Try not to shrug. This will help you engage the muscles around your shoulder blades as well as the back part of your shoulder. Your spine and pelvic stabilizers will also naturally engage as you maintain your posture. Common mistake people make is to let the knee take most of the weight that will overly tilt your pelvis. Try to keep your pelvis almost level to the ground. We will do this 10 times per side. Now place one knee on a yoga block or a cushion and put the opposite foot on the ground. Tuck your toes of the rear foot under. Ideally, the line formed by your ear, shoulder, hip, and knee should be fairly straight if it is seen from the side. Some of you may need to tuck your tailbone under to achieve this position. Keep your pelvis almost level to the ground. Then lift your body straight up by pushing your heel of the front foot and the toes of the rear foot into the ground. Then slowly descend to the initial position. You can see that my front kneecap is facing forward the whole time. This is important. This exercise will engage your buttock on one side and the front thigh muscles on the opposite side. Your spinal and pelvic stabilizers will work as well as you try to maintain upper body upright and your pelvis level to the ground. It is easy to make a mistake and do this movement with your pelvis rotated. In this case, the heel of the rear foot is usually turned in. Make sure to square your pelvis so that your heel is pointed upward. We will do this 10 times per side. Feel free to use a stool or a dowel as a support if it challenges your balance too much. Now we will work on our glutes, inner thigh, and back of the thigh muscles while isometrically engaging spinal stabilizers, muscles around shoulder blades, and your back of the shoulder muscles. We begin by pushing our hips back with the knees slightly bent. This will allow our upper body lean forward without bending the spine. Then reach your arms above your head without shrugging. Holding a dowel can guide your arms to move evenly together, but you can certainly do this without a dowel. Now, reach one foot back with your toes touching the ground. Notice that I am not rotating pelvis or losing the neutral spine. Then, lift the toes of the rear foot off while keeping a straight line from head to toe. Then, come to a double leg standing position while continuously keeping the straight line from head to toe. You can see that my body moves like a seesaw. There is only one hinging point of this seesaw, my hip joint. It is easy to make a mistake and do this movement with your pelvis rotated. In this case, the heel of the rear foot is usually turned in. Make sure to square your pelvis so that your heel is pointed upward. We will do this 10 times per side. Feel free to use a stool or a dowel as a support if it challenges your balance too much.